Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. Coming up, a whole host of brand new knives. We do a Gentleman Junkie knife giveaway tonight. That's a knife and a special item that we're giving away impromptu tonight. And then, what phase of knife collecting are you in? Clearly, I'm in my large fixed blade knives of the fighting variety, pretty much, and I'm catching up on a lot of old cold steels. As a matter of fact, a viewer of this show and I are doing a trade this week, and I will have something super cool to show probably next week. Something I've always wanted. So my dreams are coming true right here on Thursday Night Knives. How you guys doing this week? Has it been a good one? It seems like these weeks fly by. Marco, first again, good to have you here with us, man. Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Marco, it's a pleasure, sir. Hope you're doing well. James Hart, that's not good to hear. What's not good to hear? That's not good to hear. Wait, hang on. Mr. Hart, it's all good tonight. I'm not sure what I said that's not good to hear, but I'm excited. I got some really cool stuff to show off and some cool stuff to give away. Sinister Knife, nice to have you here, Sinister. Remission. Okay, I'm glad. That is always a good word. I'm glad you're in remission, sir. Sinister Knife, I like your Kyle too. That's awesome. OG Blade Reviews, Dave, nice to have you here. Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Doge has placed collection in retrograde phase with all proceeds to go to funding Tesla. There you go. Oh, man. Have a nice day, says, good evening, Junkies. I'm quality versus quantity stage. That's a good stage to be in. We've called that reduce and refine here. I got that from Epic Snuggle Bunny a long time ago. Metonicus, nice to have you here, sir. Saving up for the next knife phase. Very good. Yeah, you gotta save up. Don't want to be too irresponsible. Yeah, I've been doing that a lot lately too, where I've been denying my immediate instincts to buy something and just waiting for the good stuff. Tim Williams, nice to have you here, Tim. Good evening, Junkies. I'd have to say I'm in withdrawal. I just got laid off and can't buy any extra right now. It flat out sucks. Tim, I'm sorry to hear of your I'm sorry to hear you were laid off. That does suck. Here and this is just my propensity. I'm going to give you the silver lining of this cloud. Now you get to really truly appreciate what you got knife wise without worrying about acquiring new stuff. You can dig in. Some of those knives you may have gotten you never quite put to the test or didn't quite carry a lot. Well, now you can do that, and that's cold comfort, I know, and I hope you're laid back on real soon, sir. Craig Vincent, nice to have you here, Craig. Evening, Junkaronis. Well, evening to you, sir. That sounds delicious. I think I had Junkaroni for dinner tonight. James Hart says, I've come to a point where I won't buy a knife unless it is of unique design and within my price range. This week, however, I bought a throwing axe. Very nice. Throwing axe. I like that. I also bought new taillights for my bike. That's awesome. Broke Arizona Knives. Good to have you here. Yo, he says. Well, yo to you, man. It's good to have you with us. Ground Fog. Pleasure as always, sir. Ground Fog with us with his creepy avatar. Have a Knife Day has also been in a throwing axe phase, I know. Have a Knife Day says stag-handled Bowie knives. Oh. Who was it today? Someone posted a picture today of the old stag-handled, leather-sheathed cold steel Trailmaster from way back in the day. It was limited then, and now it's really hard to find. Beautiful. Will B says, evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Well, good evening to you, sir. I'm in a 200 and up phase. Nothing budget appeals to me right now. I totally hear that. And the reason I hear that, that's not that I'm buying a lot of $200+ knives, but I've accumulated so much stuff, and stuff gets given to me too, that it's a good problem to have, but I've got too much of that stuff. And there's certain things that I really want just for me. Adrian Fighter 35 putting up some great videos, sir. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow knife junkies. Good evening to you. Great to have you here with us, as always. Benedict Odie, we have our Terzuola merchant czar in the house. Good evening, all, he says. Good evening to you, sir. Just talking about you. I wonder if your ears were burning. I was talking with Suze and Bob Terzuola on her podcast. It was awesome. You came up, sir. James Hart says, not you, the person who had the statement above mine, who was laid off. Oh, okay. I did not see the order of things. My bad. Five Door, great to have you here with us, Five Door. I'm going to show you a knife Five Door sent me in a minute, but I want to show you a sticker he sent me. Check that out. Saint Bowie, patron saint of blades. He got this at the Texas Blade Show. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for thinking of me, sir. That is such a cool sticker. I love that. I think I say a prayer to him in the mornings. Nick Edie Sears says, hey, Bob, Jim and Junkies. Hello to you, Nick. Good to have you here with us. Jammin Parker, nice to have Jammin with us. Evening, I'm definitely in the EDC Marshall fixed blade phase, but now slowing down and getting more into bushcraft wilderness belt knives. I love those. A lot to be said for them, and they're usable. You know what I mean? And, you know, of course, the tactical fighting knives are usable too, and you can carry them around, but you can go into the woods or into the backyard or wherever you go with the bushcraft field knives and actually do stuff with them, which is fun. Dante Farnioli, good to have you here with us, sir. Hello, y'all, he says. Well, hello to you. Is that a bass? That's a good looking fish you got there. Nikki D. Sear says, I'm in my Chinese-made knife phase because USA made just went up 25%. It's funny how phases get pushed on you. Alan Springer, nice to have you here with us, Alan. I've been collecting for about 5 years now, and all of a sudden, I'm on a Ray Laconico obsession. Oh, man, his stuff is beautiful. Such clean designs. And I'm sure you follow him on Instagram. He's been, I mean, he always posts, but he's been posting these incredible knives lately. Some of them, I can't tell if they're ones that well, I know they're customs, but some of them he's making for Monterey Bay Knives. And I totally am with you. I love his recent clip points. They're beautiful. Adrian Fighter 35 says, I'm about almost 2 years into my knife collecting and have always loved and was fascinated by knives since early childhood. Me too, and I bet a lot of us here, same thing. I think I'm in my obsessive phase, focusing on cold steel knives. Yeah, I get it. I got a bunch of them right here. I'm so into cold steel knives. Here's a fun one. I have the Chris Voyager here with the Snaggletooth MF on it, and not only does the Snaggletooth make it easy to pocket draw, and open as you do, like a wave, but it also looks cool on this blade. I think looks kind of like the traditional hilt of a Filipino Chris, not so much a Malaysian Chris, but a Filipino Chris. Nick Martino, nice to have you here, Nick. Always great to hear from Nick. The next three knives I want: the Machine Wise Mojave, currently saving up for it. Something from Don Bless. Yeah, I hear that. And Scott from Edgy Blade Works. Edgy Blade Works those are some really cool looking knives. They really appeal to me. I don't know about the first one though. Also, good evening, everyone, says Nick. Nick, I think I speak for everyone when I say good evening to you. Bo Cephas, nice to have you here, Bo Cephas. I'm at the end of my knife collecting phase. I have too many that I never use. I will buy a Winkler Hawk, and that's it for blades. Bocephus, never say never, though I don't know what your situation is. You know what you could do is take some of these too many knives that you never use. Are you cool with selling them? You could sell them and then repopulate it with fewer knives. That also might help you buy the Winkler Hawk. Now, I don't know what your collection is like, but man, I would love to have a Winkler. I don't have a Winkler in my collection. I certainly would like that, especially the Syok Tomahawk. Even more so than the blades, though the knives are awesome too. OG Blade Review says, seriously though, acquisition slowing down and appreciation ramping up as I divest somewhat through gifting and selling. And we are a huge beneficiary of your gifting. Thank you very much. As a matter of fact, the knife we're giving away tonight to one lucky Gentleman Junkie comes from Dave. and it's discontinued. It's a cool one. I'll show it off in a minute. I did pick up a cold steel Warhawk at the local Army barracks store. Great price. That's a cool tomahawk. And I would imagine it's pretty light and fast because it's got the plastic haft. Adrian Fighter 35 says, dude, I am humbled, good sir. My videos kind of suck. Glad you like them. No, they don't suck. They're awesome. They feature good knives, and you're a genuine person. Victor Blades, nice to have you here, Paisan. I'm in a scary phase of knife collecting. Crazy money I've spent lately. Ludicrous. High-end stuff and some mid-range stuff, including some EDC fixies. Help. All right. You need to, the first thing, it's like you got to clear it out. Just send them somewhere. Send them here, and we'll take good care of them until you have a change of heart. It's like when you've got a problem with the booze, you got to clear out the bar and get rid of all that stuff out of your house. It's kind of the same thing. Victor, it's a serious problem. And I know you just got something new. Let me show this off. Hey, we have Byron, Splitting Slices, Howdy Bob, Jim and Junkies, and all there. Thursday Night Knives. So tonight, one lucky Gentleman Junkie. And if you're wondering what a Gentleman Junkie is, that's our patron members on the highest tier of support. Every third Thursday of the month, we do a special giveaway just for the Gentleman Junkies. We have about 30 of them. That's kind of the number where it hovers. Some come, some go, but it's always right around there. And tonight, it's the beautiful and discontinued Arcona Nettle, designed by Ivan Braganets, a Belarusian designer. I believe he's from Belarus. And this thing is a beauty. I have one myself that I got from Levan of the Knife Nuts podcast, and from Russia with Levan. That was his company when he was exporting Russian knives. And it is an awesome, awesome knife. I love this. One of my favorite front flippers. It was probably the first front flipper I ever got, and one of the best for me, even though that was a bad deployment. But it's got this beautiful black and blue micarta. Gorgeous blade. This is K110 blade steel. That's analogous to D2. I believe it's European style D2. It's got a clip that looks weathered, but that's actually kind of a stone washed clip. So I doubt this has been carried. Knowing Dave, this has been taken care of beautifully. Comes with a great carry pouch. I love the Arcona carry pouch. I use mine all the time. I've separated it from my knife. It's got velvet on the inside. Very nice. And then I'm throwing in to this giveaway a new Bolt tactical pen from Off Grid Knives. This thing is awesome. It's an aluminum tactical pen. And here it's got a bolt action opener here. You've got your, let's see, he does put an extra. It's one of those Fisher Space Pen style easy flow cartridges. So he gives you an extra pen cartridge. But so very nice. It feels great. It's light. It's big. You could use it to change someone's mind about things, or you could do it to sign a big deal. I'm signing this big contract. But check this out. Okay, you release it, and then if you push it up, you get a glass breaker on that side. That's really the persuader side. But just a really cool pen, aluminum. Carrie of Off Grid Knives sent me this and a couple of other of these pens in different colorways that I have yet to open up. But he sent me those when he sent me his new fixed blade EDC, which I got to say, I'm a big fan. So I'll be showing that off later too. But if you are a Gentleman Junkie, this is what you stand to win tonight. The Arcona Nettle by Ivan Braganets and the Bolt pen from Off Grid Knives. I believe he's had pens in the past. Well, I know he's had pens in the past. This is a new design. So there you go. Yes. Send all orphan blades to the Knife Junkie, says OG Blade Reviews. Yeah, Dave sends me awesome boxes, and I give them to you. I generally tend to adopt one or two here and there. I'm not above that for sure, but we call it fostering. It's like foster care for knives. But mostly I give them away here on the Thursday Night Knives. David Nephilim Slayer, good to have you here, David. Zabo and Pinkerton phase. Oh my God, that's an awesome phase. Dave was just on. He's a collector of Pinkerton, as am I. I pulled this out tonight. And Lacey Zabo is also really, he's got such cool stuff. I only have tops versions of his stuff. I don't have any custom Zabos. But look at this custom Razorback from Dirk Pinkerton with that deep hollow grind on the main bevel and also a hollow grind on the top. Super sharp all the way down. This thing is just a wicked, wicked fighter. And something I love about it, it's nice and light. That's Elmax blade steel. Nice and light, great sheath. This is a good sweatpants or workout shorts or pajamas knife. It's nice and light, but it comes out of the sheath easy, and it's big and double-edged. It's just a great knife. Sword XXXY, good to have you here with us, Sword. Bob, Jim, Junkies, good day. I flipped that around. Sorry about that, but he says, good day. It's good to have you here, man. Coming to us all the way from down under. Nick Martino says, I want a Buron from Arcona, the KNP edition. Which one was that? I do remember that there was something cool, but I just don't remember what it is. We got Strings with us. What's up, Bob, Jim, and Knife Junkies? Strings, pleasure having you here with us. I mentioned I was doing a trade, and this is the gentleman I'm trading with, so can't wait to show off what I will be receiving. Nick Martino says, I missed out when they were available. Yep. They seem to come and go very fast. And speaking of exotic Russian folders, there's still one that I have, a big, cool one that I still have that Dave gave me for giveaway. So maybe next week we'll give that away in the spirit of this conversation. Michael Elliott, nice to have you here, Michael. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and Knife Junkies. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm doing awesome. I love Thursdays. And it's funny, right before we go live, I'm always like, oh man, I'm tired. I'm tired, Jim. And then we start and I'm like, all my knife friends are here. Boxer Joe 13, nice to have you here, Boxer Joe. I'm just getting into higher end knives. I bought an Agent 007 last week and do love the 001 as well. Oh man, well here's a 001. You mentioned it. I gotta pull it out and show it. Very, very excellent. On both accounts. I'm a huge TKL Knives fan, as you might know. And of course, the Agent 001 is my favorite. I got a new one that I can't wait to show off. I have a lot of knives to show off tonight, new stuff. So I'll be getting to that after the pocket check because I got some pretty nice stuff. And I'm very excited. Victor Blade says, Oz Rosie, Prince Customs Protein. That's awesome. Wait, these are all ones you've gotten recently. Victor, manaja. He says, okay, Oz Roosevelt, Prince Customs Protein. That's a beautiful knife. Hog House Valley. I've been following Hog House. Rob Johnson Cypress and Cedar. I don't know those, but I like that they're named after nice trees. Holt Blades Morpheus. Brown Knives FSD. Which one is the FSD? FSD Mini. And a bunch of mid-price import blades as well. I told you, ludicrous. Yeah, I mean those first couple were pretty up there. Oh, and a gaggle of Jack Wolf Slippies and the Benny. Again, ludicrous. Wife looks at me with contempt in her eyes lately. Well, get her something ludicrous and even it out. It's like every time I get myself 10 ludicrous things, you get, however, you fill in the blank numbers wise. Ludicrous things, and then she'll stop looking askance so much. That's funny, man. Nick Martino says, I appreciate a good pen, especially from a knife company that you least expect to make one. Yeah, this is a pretty cool pen. And when I first saw that, I was like, oh, is that a flashlight? And I was so happy to discover that indeed it is not a flashlight. It's a little tungsten carbide smashy tip glass breaker. Smashy tip. Please forgive that transgression. Stephen Clayton Jr., nice to have you here, sir. Oh, you're going to like what I got to show from TKL. It's awesome. Good evening, everyone, he says. Well, I know you have one, Clayton. probably maybe not in this particular way, but I know you have what I have to show off, and it's so cool. Anyway, Nick Martino says, "Hey Bob, do you think there ever could be a Station 9 Knife Junkie collaboration at all in the future? Maybe something small." That would be cool. Now, I don't know if Station 9 does collaborations, but there's always a first time for everything. That would be cool. I love their stuff. I have nothing on the table from them tonight, but man, I love their stuff. Renee Ramon, good to have you here, sir or madam. I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Renee sometimes can go either way. What's up, y'all? That is the cutest thing. Lightsaber and a little beagle. It looks like a beagle. Well, it's great to have you here, Renee. Jeremy Nedro says, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen." Jeremy, good evening to you. Good to have you. Doug Bowl, nice to have you here with us, Doug. Hi, Bob, and all in the chat. I was just thinking of you, Doug, because this, my ski-and do that you got me, was buried on my desk under. It's really hard to keep my desk in order, and I just saw this as I was getting ready for the show, and I was thinking about you, Doug. Hope you're doing well. Nick says, can you show that knife you have that's Russian with the fuller running down the middle? Yes. We will do a little break in a little while, and I'll go get that. It's somewhat close at hand, and yeah, that's a cool one. That is a cool one. What is that called now? That is called the Crystal Aurora. I always remember Cristal. It's like the champagne. James Hart says, "For my next hawk, I'm torn between Cold Steel Trench Hawk and the War Hawk. They both look good." They both look good, but I like Booth too. It sounds like a Booth, like you're super Canadian. Jeremy Nedro says, "I buy around the $300 mark. I use most of my knives. I don't, but I $300 mark is a there's a lot of great stuff around that mark. I do not use most of my knives. I've very much definitely come to that conclusion. I got a lot of them, that's for sure. But even so, so I would imagine that if I had a lot of work to do with knives all the time, I still wouldn't use most of them. I'm sure I would just keep coming back to the same trough for the stuff that really gets used. But I'm always willing to expand that. Nice to have you here, AJ. Happy Thursday, everyone. I hope you all are having a great one so far. I certainly am. It was even a pretty good day at work, and that's always nice. Reverend Jim Lander, good to have you here, Reverend Jim. Hi, Bob. Hi, Jim. Hi, you all. Well, hello to you, man. It's good to have you with us on this beautiful Thursday night where we are giving away an Arcona. We are giving the Nettle. We are giving away the new pen from Off Grid Knives to one lucky Gentleman Junkie. And we're asking the question, what phase of knife collecting are you in? Here, let me, it should be here. Here's one. This is the second to last one I bought for myself. And this is the phase I'm in. This is the original phase and the phase I come back to frequently. And that is large tactical / combat knives, even field knives, we could say, because field knives to me flex between whatever you need to do and whatever you have to do, if you know what I mean. I know that sounds cheesy, but I like fighting knives. And this is the Cold Steel Black Bear Classic, and it is one of the coolest, baddest fighting knives I have. And it's so beautifully made. And I lucked out because I found this for a very decent price on eBay with the leather sheath. And this thing was not touched at all. It was just left in someone's basement. Still kind of smells like it, but that'll eventually go away. Ken Reed, nice to have you here, Ken. Have not been acquiring many new knives. Sharpening and carry ones I have not used lately. Yes. And by yes, I mean that is a good phase to be in when you can just kind of slow down and appreciate what you've already got, because you got it because you want it and it's already sweet. And it's hard to rein yourself in when you have the means to not be reined in. Um, and oftentimes it's hard to rein yourself in even when you don't have the means. And I have made that mistake in the past, and I will never do that again. But sometimes you just become obsessive. Renee says, I just got a transparent knives reblade. Oh, jealousy seething up from below. And I think I'm about to enter my mid-tech custom phase. That's a good and dangerous phase. But I mean, something like a transparent knives reblade is, man, that is such a cool thing to have. He makes such, I mean, his reblades are beautiful. AJ says, "LO." Oh, and also his knowledge of steel and heat treatment, and he gets them so thin too. LOL. I am constantly in trouble with my wife phase. That's funny. Yeah. Well, see, I have cover. This show, the interview show, the midweek show, they give me cover. It's like boxes arrive kind of all the time, and I'm in a lucky phase right now where most of them I haven't even ordered or bought, and it's kind of like, oh, yeah, so like, new knives, like like my wife, and she could watch this. I know she's not watching it. She could watch this, and I would feel fine about saying this. She has totally lost track of my knives and how much I have. So, so I don't have to worry about it. Anyway, Edgy American Blade says, I'm in thievery secure and happy with what I have phase. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I'm in the very secure and happy with what I have phase. That's the best phase to be in, for sure. But what are those things? Like, I'm also asking for particulars. Like, are you in your Medford phase? Heaven forbid. No, I'm just kidding. I like some Medford knives. Are you in your K-bar phase? Are you in your cold steel phase? Have a Knife Day says, I just uncovered a couple of my Tomahawk projects from the storage case. I'm going over to the axe layer soon to throw them. The axe layer. Love that. I threw knives for the first time 2 weeks ago. Interesting experience. I saw those pictures and it was cool. It looks awesome. I think it's so funny. I was recently reading, what was it? I was reading a podcast for work, and they were talking about something in the community, and they mentioned Nerf archery and axe throwing. I was like, wait a second here. Nerf archery and axe throwing? Like, can't you just have regular archery if you're already doing axe throwing? Or, and this would be the worst option, of course, if you're doing Nerf archery, shouldn't you be doing Nerf axe throwing? Like that combination seemed crazy to me. But anyway, Reverend Jim Lander says, I'm mostly given to fixed blades. I have really rediscovered that that's where my heart lies. Fixed blades. I love folders. Don't get me wrong. I've just had the other, this up, and now I have this, and I've got really cool other things like this, from DC Blade. I love folders, but my heart it belongs to fixed blades. Power play for real. Nice to have you here, sir. I have one of those. Oh, I have one of those Black Bear classic knives. So sweet. Love it. I love it. It is so well made. Now mine is from a while ago, but still, it is awesomely well made. I think this is in Taiwan. Yeah, this one was made in Taiwan. I know the very first ones were made in Japan, like a lot of older cold steels. Taiwan makes incredible stuff. Speaking of Taiwan, have you seen that those Chinese landing ships that, oh my God, that's terrifying. They can link them together and create these big, long battle bridges. It's crazy. Anyway, Nick Martino says, have you seen the newest PMP Ultimate Alpha Beast? I have not. Maybe I have. Is that the half-inch one? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? There's something about it. I want one so bad. Metal Complex just showed one. Hey, I have massive respect for Metal Complex in a number of ways. But one of them is his taste in knives that are not my thing, but I love big knives. He loves big knives too, like chunky big knives. I like long, big knives. Um, his love for PMP to me is like endearing. So I personally am not interested, but I totally get it. I get the appeal. It's the same. It's a similar appeal to wanting something like this, except it's just in a different form factor. Less combative, less useful in my opinion. But I get it. I totally get it. And Nick, it's worth saving up for. I hear they're fantastic knives. I've had one here, I believe, on loan from Hero Sticks, maybe. Asnolite 325. Asnolite, good to have you with us. I'm in my mid-tech phase and was comfortable with the slower pace I was purchasing blades at until I went to Blade Show, Texas. Yeah, and it all happens at once. I haven't really realized this, but I think I've been saving a lot for Blade Show this year. Every year I'm like, I don't have the budget and this and that. Well, this year I've been saving. I don't know if you've noticed this. I haven't been getting as many knives. Well, I haven't been buying as many knives. I've been acquiring more from people sending them to me. And that's a like great perk of this show. I've been around a little while. And so, people are sending them to me, and I greatly appreciate that. And I really take it seriously. Like when someone sends me a knife as a gift or as something to keep or to give away in my name, I take that very seriously because that's someone's paycheck or part of someone's paycheck. So I'm very, very lucky in that way. But I have been saving, and I'm going to go to Blade Show. And something crazy is going to happen. I also, a while ago, commissioned a knife from Matt Chase of Hogtooth, and I haven't told you what it is yet, but it's going to be so sweet, and that's going to cost a pretty penny. So I've also been saving for that. Byron says, I've been stuck in my Spyderco phase for as long as I can remember. Well, that's a great phase to be stuck in. Awesome steel, great time-tested designs, and the charm of kind of an ugly knife. Some of them. Have you been following Peterbilt Knife Guy? He does the nail test, as in addition to a lot of other great videos. But he's been doing these nail tests where he pounds a blade. He'll pound various blades through a nail on a billet of aluminum with a hammer, and just to test the edges. And the VG10 from the Saber Ground Endura, my God, it's like there was no nail there. It didn't affect the edge at all. So I mean, Spyderco is just like, if it's not the GOAT, it's one of them. I mean, they are just incredible with their steel and their heat treatment and their grinds. Asnolite says, I'm in a Les George phase. That's a great phase. I just picked up a Defiant 7 M320. That's not this, but this is also a Les George. And an Eagle Auto. God, those are beautiful. And the George Knives Talos. Oh my God, you are in a good phase. That's a great phase. He's one of my favorites out there, not only in terms of design, like his VSEP/Rockeye design is still one of my all-time favorite folding knives, but he's a great dude. He's got that Marine Corps gallows humor, and he's a great dude. I also really want a VSEP from Les George. That's Nick Martino. Yes, indeed. AJ says, T-Kel all the way lately. I'm with you, AJ. God bless my Be Less Dumb. Got a bunch of those right here. Merch yesterday. Oh, I said God bless. Got my Be Less Dumb merch yesterday. Agent 001 has been a daily carry since I got it when it came out. Oh, man, that's awesome, AJ. I'm humbled to hear that. I think that's awesome because like a lot of other great agents have come out. The Agent 00. Oh, which one is this? This is not what I was expecting, but the 3. I love this. This is such a great knife. And the 7 and the 5. I've been seeing, who's been doing the regrinds of the 5, the Bowie? It looks so sweet. Yeah, T-Kel, I never tire of T-Kel knives. Have a Knife Day says, I do have a recurve bow and a cold steel self-cocking crossbow. Where have you been my whole life? I need to get one of those. That sounds awesome. Difficult to find places to shoot the crossbow. Yeah. Especially if you're in an urban environment, and I know you're kind of in an urban environment. So hard to find. Though when we lived in New York, we had a 50-foot long hallway when we lived at 30th and 3rd, and we had an archery range set up there. That was pretty unique and unusual for the city. Miranda Hastings, nice to have you here, Miranda. Hey, guys, she says. Well, hello to you. Good to have you here. Derek Ninehouse, Teak-Hell, because I need a fixed blade. That's the best. Love that. Me too. And I got to say, Tim himself is the best. He's a great, great dude. Tim Williams says Microtech folders and out the front autos. Yes. I'm really into the Microtech folders, the non-automatic folders, and they're really in my wheelhouse these days. Derek Ninehouse says TKL Agent 001, 003, 004, 005, FMF, and Accomplice. Super happy with Tim's work. I'm with you, and we were just talking about Microtechs. Doug says, Bob, all the time I was able to be here, I purchased 2 hatchet and tomahawk 19-inch throwing / self-defense tomahawk. That's awesome. And in Doug's hands, I know that means something. Razor sharp and great thrower. I will be sending you one. What? Enjoy. Oh my God, Doug. Thank you, sir. I'm blown away, and I appreciate that. I can't wait to show it off here. Man alive. Oh, I'm going to add to my tomahawk collection. I've got under 10, and this will be much prized, sir. Thank you. Donald Fry says, hi, Bob and all. Happy Y. Well, happy Y to you, sir. All that said, speaking of Microtechs, Derek, wait, let me read Derek's comment first. My last Kershaw folder failed me. I thought about Benchmade with Axis Lock. Then I got Teak-Hell. A wise choice, Derek. That said, let's get to a pocket check.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
It was a little bit of foreshadowing before, but yes, today I was carrying my Amphibian. I positively adore the Amphibian. This is probably my favorite Microtech design of all time. And I remember when it was a very, very extremely limited thing that was only like custom or whatever. This is years ago. I guess 2006 was the first time this came out. And it didn't come out. It was like a, 1 off, 2 off, 3 off, 5 off kind of thing. You had to be really in the know and have lots of money. And I'm so glad they came out with this for their regular production. Now you can get this in the G10 like I have, or you can get it in the aluminum like I have the Stitch. I love both of these. I gotta say, 2 of my favorite knives of all time, especially for folders. But also I purchased them both in 24, I guess. So favorite knives of that year for sure. Had this in my pocket today, and I love it with the serrations. I've said it many times. I'll say it again. I love Microtech serrations because the peak of each serration stands proud from the edge. It's not like they grind the edge and then grind the serrations into it like Benchmade. You'll see like the edge, and then it's like a different level with the serrations. I like how these are done much better, and they cut wickedly. They're so good. I actually had a fibrous bunch of grapes I was trying to break up today at lunchtime, and this is what I pulled out. Ordinarily at home, I would use kitchen shears, but I wasn't at home, and this came out. Short work of that grapevine, I'll tell you. Really, really, really great knife. I love it. I love it. One of my favorites. Plus, it reminds me a little bit of the Commander, the Emerson Commander. That blade has a lot of the same qualities that really got me going on the Emerson knives and such. All right, next up in my back left pocket next to my bandana, I had the Jack Wolf Knives Diamondback Jack. This is the March 2025 release. A beautiful knife. This is the one I was really waiting for. This is the larger bolster locking version of the Venom Jack, my favorite of the slip joint patterns. The Venom Jack and this Diamondback Jack features a beautiful Wharncliffe blade with a downward descending straight edge and a tip lower than the handle, which I love. Really, really outstanding cutter. This has a S90V with a tumbled blade, my first tumbled blade from Jack Wolf Knives. And of course, it's got that full height hollow grind, so wickedly thin and precise behind the edge. And then the handle itself is a trapper style handle, a traditional trapper style handle with the downward descending pommel that widens out and is rounded. Really, really great knife. But I'm doubly pleased and privileged to have this. This was sent to me by Ben Belkin of Jack Wolf Knives, and he sent me this one, which is to me by far the most attractive of them because it looks like a piece of World War II military kit with its sort of olive drab, tightly woven linen micarta scales or covers, I guess you say, on a knife like this, with the dark tumbled titanium triple fluted on the front, double fluted on the back bolsters, and then the bronzed clip and backspacer. It's just so cool. It looks like I've said it before. I'll say it again. I guess I repeat myself a lot. That's a DeMarco trait, I got to say. But yeah, it's like if you went into the army in 1942 and they're like, and here's your ridiculously expensive and luxurious folding knife, it would look like that, in my opinion. All right. My fixed blade today was the awesome Knives by Nuge Primitive Wicket XL. I'm a huge fan of this knife ever since I got the small neck knife version of this at Blade Show last year. I love this knife. And he just, Tom Nugent of Knives by Nuge, by the way, check out the interview. I think it's out this week or next week. He just released a bunch of these. Actually, he's dropping a whole bunch of these tomorrow as I speak. But he made this one in the last batch and sent it to me. He made sure that spine was super 90 degrees. It's like it scrapes ferro rods really, really easily. This Sunday, I have Tom Nugent, Knives by Nuge on. He's a great guy. Awesome conversation talking about his great outdoor fixed blade knives. But I'm a huge fan of jute cord wrap. I'm not sure if you know that about me, but I've only said it a billion times. And Tom does a fantastic job with that. It just feels great in hand. It looks beautiful. Keeps the blade nice and thin, but it gives you a great grip, especially considering how broad, the handle is somewhat broad north to south. 80 CRV2, very sharp Scandi grind. And then he's been doing these really great ambidextrous sheaths now in the tradition of Tracker Dan and Offensive Industries and Gypsy EDC, etc. Armis Knife and Tool now. And I love these sheaths. They almost always feature a little bit of soft Velcro on the side next to the clip so that you don't scratch up the blade. It also stops it from rattling around. This is a great pocket carry. Today, I had this in the waistband, but this is a great pocket carry. By the way, today was the first time I carried it in the waistband, and it's okay. It's a little thick, and I still haven't lost all of my excess Christmas weight, so it was a snug fit. I think by the time summer comes around, I'll be able to do that a little more easily, but I prefer that in pocket carry. My ESK, my emotional support knife today, was also in an ambidextrous sheath, and this is by Armis Knife and Tool. So I was not actually carrying this on my person. I had it in my bag with me, and then it ended up on my desk, of course, under documents, so that it can't be viewed by the hoi polloi walking through my office. But really, really great knife. The VSK1, that stands for very stabby knife, by the way. Extremely comfortable in hand. The ergonomics on this knife are exceptional. I sometimes complain about the 2-finger partitions you'll find on certain knives where it groups, your forefinger and your swear word finger up front, and then your ring finger and your pinky in the back. And this just, I don't know, the way he created this straight and curved, it just fits my hand perfectly. I love the spear point blade on this. And then, of course, it's optimized for reverse grip with that really nice thumb thing on the pommel. Just fits perfectly. And this is another one with the ambidextrous sheath. And this one's cool because it's got the topographical G10 on the back, and works great in pocket. This one even works well in slanted pockets of khaki pants. I find that these kind of sheaths so far are best in jeans, but the way that this one curves at the top, you have a sort of semicircular profile on the top. It works well in slanted pockets also. So this is what I had on me today. 2 small fixed blades. This is a kind of an unusual carry for me to have the 2 small fixed blades, and not have one big ridiculous thing for my emotional support knife. But this is what I had on me. Tell me what you all guys and gals had on you today. You know, I like finding it out. I like hearing what you guys are carrying. And oftentimes it's a ridiculous amount of stuff, which I really appreciate. This just feels awesome in hand too. Check out Knives by Nuge. Check him out on Instagram and also on the website. Because if you like these wickets and the primitive wicket, the wicket is the little one that it's my favorite of all my neck knives. It's my favorite. I wear it all the time. He's dropping them tomorrow, the little ones and then the XLs, like I just showed you. Love your designs and Tim's. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Here's one that Tim and I are going to be doing sometime soon. These are 3D resin prints of the double-edged fighting knife inspired by the Turkish Yadigan. Just inspired by it. I know it looks different, doesn't have a recurve, but it does have that downward descending blade, which sort of mimics a recurve. But is easier to sharpen. These resin prints are so cool. Such a cool way to prototype a knife without going all the way and making it metal and all that. So I'm very excited about this. I'm not sure what his schedule is for that, but I'm psyched. Derek Ninehouse says, Bob, the Agent 001 is the best self-defense knife EDC ever. Just flawless. Derek, you're warming the cockles of my heart, man. That makes me feel so good. Just in case anyone's wondering what we're talking about, it's this knife right here. Oh, thank you, man. I so greatly appreciate it. And, you know, I had the Bob Loveless inspired Black Bear Classic out. This style knife. This is a pattern designed first by Bob Loveless and repeated by many different knife makers. But this is what inspired that knife to a great extent. So there is a method or a reason, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Derek. Dion Page, nice to have you here, Dion. I'm in the phase I've always been in. I like knives, and I want to make my own. Do it, Dion. Do it. I'm almost there. By this summer, I hope to have my shop all together and my first blades made. Killer blades and killer vid, King Junkie. Oh, man, thank you. And let me urge you, and Dion, you know, we don't know each other personally very well. I mean, I kind of feel like I do because you've been here and I was in communication with you when you were getting the Nova 2, but I shouldn't start the sentence with don't. I should say, you can make knives even before your shop is fully set up. And the reason I say that is in my life, on various creative projects, I've put them off because everything wasn't aligned. And I realized nothing is ever aligned. All things are never aligned. So the sooner you start making knives, the better. And I cannot wait to see them because I love your taste in knives. And I have a feeling you're going to make some cool stuff. So I look forward to this summer. I want to see something. You can come on Thursday Night Knives. Just go to the knifejunkie.com/join and show me. Craig Vincent says, Bob, I'm still all over the place with my knife buying phase. Vintage knives, classic design of both folder and fixie, cold steel, always cold steel. Okay, so Craig, simple. You're a knife junkie. That's where my whole moniker came from, because here I even have cheap paring knives on my desk. Like I love them all. And some particular models I don't like, but I love all types of knives. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be swords. Doesn't have to be cold steels or TKELs. It can be the $3 Walmart fishing knife. I love that one too. Nick Martino says, I'll also be getting the V2 FLN eventually. Oh yeah, that one looks sweet. The V2 FLN. I used my FLN to unbox the knife I'm going to show you today. That unboxing, due to scheduling, has to go up tomorrow, but you're going to get a sneak peek. Anyone here tonight will see a sneak peek of the unboxing. I did yesterday, but I'm releasing tomorrow. Donald Fry says, hey, Bob and all, finally made it. Glad to be here. Donald, I feel like we already said hello, but I'm glad you're here too, because you stand to win the Arcona Nettle and the Bolt Pen by as a Gentleman Junkie by Off Grid Knives. The stars aligned at USPS, and I received the knife and sharpener from the drawing. Awesome, Donald. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you have that. That sharpener is so cool. I have it on my desk here. I use mine all the time. It's buried under stuff. Oh, here it is. Dion says, hello, King Junkie, Jim, and all you junkies. Dion, I have a feeling that's an older comment, but it's awesome to see you and have you here. James says, nothing in my pocket, but on my belt, I had my EF123, inspired by the giveaway knife we had here that Dave gave us to give away. And James didn't get it, but he wanted it, and he ended up buying one. That's a beautiful knife, isn't it? I used it to open the box that my new throwing axe came in. That's the spirit, old boy. Edgy American Blades says, in the pocket today was my Edgy American Blades Thug in crew wear. Ooh, I want to see that, man. Carrie, Byron says, Carrie is an EMP EDC Nimble X. Which one is the X? V1, the Buck 102 Woodsman, and the Rosecraft Blades Riverbend Skinner. Oh, that's a cool one. I like that one. Is that with the white handle or the black? I know that there was one that was big and then a smaller one, and they had different names. Dion, now you'll get back to me and say black or white. I'll be like, what is he talking about? Because I have a goldfish-like memory. Dion Page says, Recon 1 Tonto, Spike Bowie, Swiss Army knife, the big bad boy with the magnifying glass. You got to start fire somehow. And the most killerist of all Nova 2. Yes, most killerist. I've been carrying my Nova 2 front scout recently, Dion. I got a soft loop and put it around the first grommet, and it carries remarkably well that way. I know we shipped it out with the DCC clip, which is also awesome, but just for a change of pace, I've been carrying mine front scout and love it. Oh, this will be good. OG Blade reviews. Today's carry, the Riat, I hear it pronounced different ways. PL-XE pivot lock. That's a cool looking knife. The Vosteed Akita pivot lock. I'm sensing a theme. The TKL Adversary. Love that knife. The DC Blades Sting. That's a beauty. The Combat Troodon Gen 3 Tonto. Prometheus Design Works Bally B. Oh, really? Is that the small-ish Bally song that looks like the... Yes, I think it is. I just can't remember what it's called. And the Regiment Auto Lock. Do I have the auto lock here? No. If you're wondering what it was, I was about to show it off. I think it's on my dresser upstairs. I'm always slapping that thing open. It's so cool. I love that knife. Very nice carry, as usual, from Dave of OG Blade Reviews. Asnolite 325. Asnolite. Got to get used to saying your name. Asnolite. That's a cool name. Asnolite says, pocket check for me is a Spartan Harzy folder, a classic, awesome folding knife. The PM2 DLC'd crewware, excellent, and an Endura in K390. I do love the Endura. I would like to get the Endura with the Emerson Wave and the Saber Grind. I do like a Saber Grind. I like how stout those are. And ever since I saw Peterbilt Knife Guy pound it through a nail, I'm like, ooh, that looks awesome. Stephen Clayton says, TCAL Agent 001, 002, and 003. I guess if the 002 wasn't there, you'd have a comma there. All right. So I just want to make sure. The DP1, that's the cool new little neck knife. The Raider, the Taylor's Ridge, the Combatant, the Adversary, the FLN, the Night Guard 2.0, the Night Stalker CG, the Night Hawk, the Accomplice, the Gideon V3, and the Piranha. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 TCal knives and on him, and the Wingard Wearables Micro Dick Pick Glock 43X MOS. Okay, so if you don't believe that Stephen Clayton carries 15 TCal fixed blades on him at one time, you're mistaken. I had the pleasure of meeting him and his son at Blade Show, and I was like, all right, you really carry those? Show me. And he's like, and they were all there. It was awesome. Real respect. Reverend Jim says, I had in my pocket, left front, a Benchmade Otto Osborne, very nice, and a Jack Wolf folder. Well, which one? Don't leave us hanging. Which Jack Wolf? I'm curious. I love those Jack Wolf knives. Asnolite says, knives by Nuge. I met him at Blade, Texas, and picked up a Saber Ground Big Boy in AEBL. Awesome. I don't have the Big Boy, but he on Sunday, you'll see he was talking about it and showing it. And I was like, I want that. He's such a great guy. His knife making is awesome and really just makes great outdoor fixed blade knives. Nick Martino says, do you have anything from auxiliary manufacturing? Yeah, I do. He makes cool knives. I want to get something eventually. Yeah, I have. I was just playing with. I guess I left it over in my case. I have the Pocket Bowie XL. I have the Pocket Bowie. I have the neck knife. I can't remember what that's called. I carry it as a neck knife. It's a little push dagger. He calls that the. I can't remember what that's called. And then my favorite is still the Pocket Rocket dagger. Sweet little knife. I love his work, and he's a cool dude too. Adrian Fighter 35 says, my pocket check today is a Cold Steel Voyager clip point and a Double Agent 1 serrated neck knife carry. A guy at a supply shop saw the Voyager get whipped out open and gave me the old, that's not a knife. Oh. Well, it's forgivable. It's forgivable if you're not a knife guy to say that. But if you're a knife guy, you're not allowed to say that. You're just not. Very cool. I never heard of Armis. Oh, Nick Martino. Check out the interview I did with him. It's awesome. I mean, it's great to talk with him. He's a great guy, and his knives are sweet. And I have a video on it, and Dave has a great close-up video on his. Dave's the guy who introduced me to him in the first place. And Armis Knife and Tool, VSK. He also sells other cool stuff. Like he's got a universal paring knife sheath. So a knife like sheath, much like this, ambidextrous, that fits most cheap paring knives. So you can get on the airplane with your sheath, land in Chicago or whatever city you're going to, and go to a grocery store, buy a cheap paring knife, and it will fit in that sheath, and you'll have a knife to carry around with you while you're there. Genius idea. Great guy, and really excellent knife. Craig Vincent says, Cold Steel 3V8010, the Swift 3, the Raja 2, the Tylite 6, 3 times 2 equals 6, the Kiradashi, the Ritter RSK, the Spyderco Caribbean. That must be in the Salt series, I'm guessing. Kaiser Phoenix, the Milita, the Contrail, the Manganas Purple Haze Kaimano. Very cool. And the Perrin Ladakh as a necker. That's a great knife. All that carry, though, that's a great rounded out carry. Miranda Wilmore. Hey, y'all. Well, hello, Miranda. It's good to have you here with us. Tell us what you were carrying today. Jeremy Nedro says, I'm carrying a Spyderco PM3 in 15V, Protec Malibu in MagnaCut, Olight I5T, and an Olight I3T. Okay. I have the I3T. I carry that a lot. Stoked for when you guys make those. Which one? Now I'm not sure what you're talking about. But coming from AJ, I'm guessing these, because you're a TKL guy and these are new. They're going to be new. Oh, I can't wait. Very cool. Sorry about that. You shouldn't have to see that. All right, let me show you some cool stuff. Ooh, we better do that giveaway. Okay, let me show you one knife. Let me read this. I'll show you one new knife, and then we'll do the giveaway. Have a Knife Day says, I got the 1987 Sambar buck handled buck 119 this week. I love the 119. And with Stag, that sounds awesome. This was made when Buck was still in California. That's awesome. All right, I can't wait any longer. Let me show you this TKL that Tim sent me, and has me pleased as punch, let's say. All right, I got one of these. I can hear Nick Martino because I know he loves these handle scales. But Tim made a bunch of a small number of FMFs. That's the Frogman field knife, one of 2 collaboration knives with Frogman Tactical that Tim does. And he did them with this cool, very custom special order red, white, and blue Burl G10. Beautiful sheath, by the way. Here you can unscrew this, slide it up and screw it down. So when you're jumping out of airplanes, high altitude, low open, like I do, on the weekends, it won't come out. So very cool feature here, but let me show you this knife. Yes. Beautiful laser engraving of the Gadsden snake. Don't tread on me on this side. This is AEBL. Of course, it's nickel boron coated as usual. And I just realized it's the mercenary handle that this beautiful Bowie blade is on. And then here, We the People on this side. I just absolutely love this. There's the Frogman Tactical logo there. Made in the USA. This thing is so sweet. It's so incredibly sharp, too. And by the way, even though that swedge is not sharpened, this thing does a wicked, wicked back cut. This sort of flicking motion. You will gouge, tear, disrupt any sort of incoming attack, during your Bowie duel. I can't tell you how much I love this. It's such a cool knife. And he did one like this. He did one with the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor and Semper Fi on the other side. He did one that was like an American flag etched in the thing. And I loved them all, but this was definitely my favorite. He made a number of them for auction, but I scored this one. So really, really, really love the FMF, the Frogman field knife. And this one makes me want to get one that's that isn't as special. Like, I'm not going to take this out and use it. And you're like, well, what do you use your knives for anyway? Well, still, this is definitely just one to have. It's a collector's piece, but I would love to now get a version of the FMF in a rough and ready, with a green handle or something that I'm not worried about messing up, and a blade that doesn't have the beautiful laser etching on it. It's just so cool. It's such a beautiful knife, and it's such a great way to round out. It's not rounding it out like I'm finishing my TKL collection, not at all, but it's the biggest TKL I have, and I'm really psyched to have it in the collection. That's a comparison with the 001, and here it is with the Combatant. Also, just an outstanding knife. He knows how to do knives. What can I say? Look at that. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this knife giveaway for one lucky Gentleman Junkie in the crowd. Boy, I have 4 other really cool knives to show, but I had to get the TKL knives FMF out. I'm just gonna hold it for a minute and hope I don't become absent-minded with it, because it's so sharp. So sharp. Anyway, Gentleman Junkies, these are our prized patrons. All of our patrons are prized. Gentleman Junkies are on our top tier of support, which means every third Thursday of the month, we do a special giveaway just for them. And they are 5-Door, Ben Belkin, Billy Ford, Byron Kennedy, Colin Maison-Pierre, Craig Vincent, Donald Fry, Doug Bowl, EDC Gear Guy, Edwin Callow, Gavin Kalitis, Jay McConnell, Jammin Parker. I'm sorry, Jammin. Jason, Jeff Hamilton, Jeff Wright, Jesse Tellis, Jock's Knife, JVF, Larry Elizondo, Martin Gamboa, Never Enough Knives 007, Pat D's Nuts, Ronald Reimer, Scott Nelson, Sean Welford, Thomas Butler, V2, thanks, Dad, Northern Knives, and Will B. All right, let us bring up the wheel. Let's spin the wheel, and whoever wins gets this really beautiful and discontinued Arcona nettle from Belarusian designer Ivan Braganets, and produced, I'm not sure where, in Russia or maybe in China for Russia. I know it came from Russia. So let's do this. All right, 3, 2, and 1. All right, here it goes. Now it's going to tease. It's going to like pretend to stop somewhere, and then it will. Ben Belkin. Ben Belkin, the great and powerful Ben Belkin of Jack Wolf Knives. He is the winner of this Arcona nettle and this awesome bolt pen. I look forward to getting these out to him. And very, very, well, that makes me happy. Makes me happy. It doesn't matter who it goes to. I'm really grateful to all of our gentleman junkies and to our traditional junkies. That's the mid-tier of support, and our traditional junkies. I love you all. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. All right. So I got a couple other knives to show you. Should I go fixed blade or folder next? You tell me, and that will direct me, and that will send me in the right direction. And as you do, let me show you. Oh, well, this is what so whenever I do the show, I have to take out what's in my pocket to do a knife check, but I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here without a knife in my pocket in case I have to jump up and cut something. So yes, I had the stitch in hand. The stitch, again, I opted for the serrations, which is very rare for me, but on Microtex, I just love them. And the aluminum handle, so nice. This is a great, great, great knife. And they put these all in relatively easy to save up for realm. Let's put it that way. They're not inexpensive, but they're not crazy expensive as they once were, or as their out the fronts and automatics are. Derek Ninehouse says, Bob, you have some really great knives and you're a great knife designer. Keep at it. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It's funny. Tomorrow is Father's Day at my daughter's, one of my daughter's schools, and it's a Catholic school, so there's a mass and all this. But the teacher requested a color picture of their father. They're going to do some collage or something. And of course, my daughter told me like at the very last minute, and I ended up printing up a picture of me. It's like the most flattering picture I could find. It's like a picture of me, and I'm holding a knife, and I was like, I wrote to the teacher, I understand if you have to crop the knife out, and they're like, no problem. Yes, we sent them to the right school. Have a Knife Day says, I got the knife from my friend at Unlimited Blade Works. Damn fine deal too. Ooh, Unlimited Blade Works. I am unfamiliar with them, and I feel like I should make myself familiar with them. Tim Williams says, Godfather with blue sapphire blade and T-Kel Raider, one of 25 from one of his auctions. Oh, cool. Wait, the Raider. Which one is the Raider? Oh, I know what the Raider is. That's a drop point, right? And what is the the Godfather. Oh, goodness. Yes, that's the ProTech. I'm having senior moments here, and it's all coming back. Dion Page says, thank you very much, sir. Your words mean a lot to me. Oh, dude. Thank you. I mean, I'm glad, and I can't wait to see what you do. Nick Martino, I also want a couple of custom knives from Edgy American. Oh, me too. In M4, SM100 to eventually. So we're talking about Shane of Edgy American Blade Works. Donald Fry, my collecting has focused on the best production folders I can find, mainly Hinderer, Chris Reeve knives, Strider, the Royal Triumvirate from the old days, and Spartan, which, in my opinion, is the fourth that triumvirate, which I guess doesn't make any sense. But you know what I'm saying. When the Spartan Harzy folder came out, and I finally got one, I was like, this belongs in that triad. So I guess it's a quadrad now of Hinderer, Chris Reeve, and Strider. But I maintain a soft spot in my heart for Spyderco and Case. Me too. I love Case, especially the carbon steel Case 9. They seem to spend more time. Well, since no one said anything, I'll show you some folders next. Split and Slices says the Riverbed. Thank you for putting for putting the question in the answer. Riverbed Skinner is the larger black scales. Really cool. I love the white one too, but I love that blade. It's so cool. The Maroney. Nice to have you here, Maroney. Hey, y'all. He says. Well, hey to you. It's good to have you here. I knew a Father Maroney growing up, and he was one of the coolest guys ever, and a great artist. Stephen Clayton Jr. says, I forgot to list the TKL CW folder. I want to get a CW. I need to stop saying need. Now, if you heard paper, that's because I was opening up spec sheets here for what I'm about to show. Jacob Green says, the Endura is a great knife for draw cuts. I have one with custom carbon fiber scales made by an artist in Ukraine. Oh, that's cool. I have one knife from Ukraine. Or no, I have two. From, BPS knives. Maroney, today's carry, the Maroney. Today's carry, Benchmade bug out with good screw tie dragon scales and the Kvist Vanish Slippy. That's cool. I love those Kvist knives. I think they're beautiful. Nick Martino, as far as grails in Spyderco, definitely one of my tops. The Frandon Lock exclusive Manix 2 in 4V with a hollow grind. That sounds awesome. And the marble carbon fiber. Okay. So the Manix 2, the original Manix 2s were all hollow ground. And I got one for my brother, just the S30V version. And that is a sweet knife. Now, speaking of hollow grind, I got these. These were sent to me from Sencut / Savivi. First one here, the Sencut with that deep hollow ground. They're calling it a sheep's foot. I'm calling it a Warncliffe. But hey, tomato. This one's called the Owasi, and I really like this knife. It's a 3.4 inch, almost 3.5 inch, 9CR18 MOV blade with the deep hollow grind. G10 scales, of course, and this is the very vanilla version. There is also a wood and coated version, and then I think a green micarta version. But a really, really nice cutting blade for everything but stabbing, and you could manage to, or I should say thrusting. You could manage that, with the right angle. Great thumb stud deployment and flipper deployment. I'm really loving the clips they're putting on Savivis and Sencuts these days. Really nice back spacers and weight relieved. So it's nice and light. Just a great everyday user kind of knife. And then, I know you're eyeing up this. This is a Michael Gavco knife. Michael Gavick has been making knives now for like almost 20 years, I guess. I remember when he was pimping knives and then making big, really cool fixed blades. And his bread and butter over the past at least 10 years, if not 12, have been really unique, gorgeous custom folders. And then the last 5 to 7 years, these kind of collaborations with production makers. All of his knives, even the epaulette, are named after sharks. Someone set me straight on that. I remember when the epaulette came out a couple of weeks ago and I did a story on it on the Wednesday show. I was like, it's the first knife named after a piece of garment anatomy instead of a shark. And someone's like, dummy, there's an epaulette shark. I was like, oh, right. So this is the 6 gill. And 6 gills are pretty cool looking sharks. I remember from my shark days. They're kind of long and not eel-like, but they have a different sort of chassis than your average shark. They're kind of long, kind of tubular, and they look pretty nasty. And this is the opposite. It's a beautiful looking knife. You've got this continuous belly on a reverse tanto blade. You've got a great crossbar lock. And in this case, green micarta, really handsome with that black blade, nicely produced as always. Just one standoff, weight relief, that great clip again, this time blackened. And here's the Gavco logo. This is a cool one. This is a really cool Civivi. They just make a lot of great knives. I am looking forward to getting the new one by Taylor Martin of Best Damn EDC. That's a cool one. Can't remember what it's called right off the top of my head. It's got an odd little name, but it's a beautiful looking knife, as are these. So I'm going to be doing close-up videos of both of these knives this week. These are released on March 27th, which is next week, next Friday, I think. Great action on this. I've got quite a little Civivi Sencut collection going. It's not a no-sell collection like Cold Steel or, I have several no-sell collections, sub-collections. But I just of all the kind of budget, awesomely made Chinese knives, I just tend to gravitate towards Civivi and Sencut. I really like them. So, yep, there's that. A couple more to show you. I'll show you those in a minute. Let's see. Have a Knife Day says, pocket check. The Cold Steel Formax Scout with the newly added pickpocket wave like device on it. Also added a braided lanyard to it. How cool. That's funny you should say that, because I'm holding a braided lanyard that my daughter did right here. Pocket clip is tight. Yeah, it's to be expected, right? From the old Cold Steel. Doug Bowl says, Bob didn't carry today. Who are you, Doug? Who are you and what have you done with Doug? But the old shoulder injury. Oh, okay. But with the old shoulder injuries from when on the police department, I've been doing self-therapy. Got a 50-pound recurve bow out and a tomahawk, practicing on body-sized targets. That sounds like a pretty good idea, actually. I dislocated or separated this shoulder falling down the stairs a number of years ago at this point. And it was jacked up for a year, and the only thing that got it better was those weighted maces that you flip around your head. That thing really, really, really helped. So I have no doubt that tomahawk and bow, because you're stabilizing it, pushing it out like that. Yeah, that sounds like the way to go. So you kind of were carrying. You just weren't carrying a knife. You had a tomahawk and a bow. That'll do it. That'll do the trick. Strings says, my pocket check today, Leatherman Signal, the A.G. Russell medium gun stock, and my favorite new Rockstead. I saw a picture of that, and it's badass. I'm in love with the mirror polished DLC. Yeah, that is beautiful. James Hart says, well, I'm off. Have not been feeling well today, but had to stay up and watch at least part of your session. So take care. Everyone stay safe and keep them sharp and handy. James, have a wonderful night. Hope you get better real quickly, and have a great weekend. Thanks for checking in, even though you weren't feeling well. I appreciate that, sir. Autumn Wind, nice to have you here, Autumn Wind. Hello, all. Carried the mini J cape. I love the J cape. That's one of the most ergonomic handles on a modern folder ever. And the Gail Bradley 2 today. Very nice. I want to show you this. I'm not sure if Five Doors still with us. I showed you the sticker he gave, but I want to show you something else he sent. Jacob Green says, I bought another big I bought another big beefer from Cold Steel. It was the 8010 Lite. It's amazing, and I finally understand the appeal of it. But that's 3 this month. Please help. Not really. Okay. Don't do it, Jacob. Stop. Don't do it. There's my help. There's my half-hearted attempt at helping you. Don't buy it. What do you need to do that for? All right, let me show you this. Five Door sent me this really nice knife. This is a first of all, I mentioned that it's on a braided cord. For $5, you can get one of those right here. And I promise you, I will give my daughter her take. Of course, I keep $1.50 for my efforts. I'm just kidding. I will give her the full $5. But if you want a braided lanyard, that's what you do. But check this out. This is a Jesse Jaros designed knife. This is from K-Bar. It's called the 7001, the 7001 BP Rambler neck knife. And it's a sweet little neck knife. Super razor sharp and hollow ground and skeletonized. And, I was really tempted at first to wrap it in jute, but I want to see the Jaros symbol. He's such a great guy, and his designs are so sick. And I really would like to have a custom Jaros knife someday. And until I do, I'm leaving that logo just like that. Really nice knife. Fits great in the hand. It's super light. It's got this great injection molded plastic sheath here. And this I have not actually permanently fixed it on there, but it's so light that this is going to be right up there with the knives by Nuge because it's so light and diminutive, if you will, even if you won't. And I love the skeletonized handle. This thing is awesome. Thank you so much, Doug. I really appreciate it. Such a nice gesture. And like he was at Blade Show and thinking of someone other than himself. And that was yours truly when he got this and this sticker. And I just really appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. K-Bar Jaros 7001 BP Rambler. You can do a lot with this little knife. You get it in the sheath the right way. There we go. All right. There's one other thing I'm going to show in the state of the collection. I'll get that out in a second. Yeah, Jacob, there's nothing I can do for you, sir. There's really nothing I can do. You have to just fight through it and just keep buying knives until it feels normal. Reverend Jim says, these guys that carry so many knives, how do they keep their pants up? Well, it's funny you should say that because Stephen Clayton Jr., when I met him, did have suspenders on. So I think that might have something to do with it. Nick Martino says, I want a set for my Agent 001. I want a set for my Agent 001. Oh, a set of these grips. Yeah, that'd be cool. I think he should do another run of this very custom G10. I think he could sell them like hotcakes. Danston EDC, good to have you here. Wowzers. Oh, wowzers. What is that? I thought for a second that was a Bastinelli red, but that's a cool looking fixed blade in your hand there. Jacob Green says, how did you get Captain America's knife? Oh, well, I know people. No, I love this thing. I love the American, the patriotic sentiment of it. And Tim's a former Marine. I know it's not. It comes from the heart from him. Nick Martino says Tim can't be stopped. I agree. He cannot be stopped. Ouchie EDC, good to have you here with the creepy lip eye thing. That looks like Snapchat. So my daughter and my wife Snapchat each other, and they just do the goofiest like little faces. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a popular app, and you can take pictures of yourself with these goofy filters. That's what that reminded me of. Edgy American Blade says, what happened to the spine of that T-Kel? What do you mean, what happened to the spine? You talk about this right here? That's jimping, my man. I kind of feel like you're pulling my leg somehow, but I can't tell how. Derek says that FMF gift is really sweet. T-Kel does just creative work. Enjoy that well. Thank you, sir. I shall indeed. The FMF is an amazing knife. I love this knife. Yeah. And that also makes me think I should get the Gideon V3. And I know you have one on you right now. Doug Bowl, what a keeper. Yeah, indeed. What a keeper indeed. Nick Martino, that would match my ProTech SNG with the patriotic G Carta. It would. That was a sweet knife. I'm glad it went to you. I wish that's another regret, but it's not a regret. It's not a regret. No regrets. No regrets. Dan Stan EDC says, I like the ringtail T-Kel. Can't remember what it's called. Well, there are a couple, but I think you're thinking of the Night Stalker. That was the original. The Gideon V3 is kind of like a larger Night Stalker. And then he's got a couple of other ringed ones. But look at the Night Stalker. That's the one I think you're talking about. An American Father. Nice to have you here, American Father. Good evening, junkies, he says. Well, good evening to you, sir. Bob DeMarco, says Paul Mills. Paul Mills, says Bob DeMarco. Glad to have you here, man. Nick Martino says the Outcast Blanks stuff is freaking awesome, too. Oh, is this... These are his new kind of FRN handles. They look like the stippling on a SIG. Is that right? SIG grip. Todd Carr, nice to have you here, Todd. Good evening, everyone, he says. Good evening to you. That ocean vista looks positively beautiful. An American Father says the answer is always fixed blade. Yes. Is that the phase of collecting you're in? Like you're always in that? I'm with you, man. Michael Upchurch, good to have you here with us, Michael. Evening, gentlemen, he says. Well, good evening to you, sir. We have some ladies in the audience, too. Todd Carr says, not a Strider if it doesn't have lock stick. Somehow I got one without lock stick, but I got it from Terrell Todd of the Todd Brothers fame, and he used to be Zelric42 on YouTube. But anyway, I bought my SMF from him, and it doesn't have blade stick, and I'm not surprised, or lock stick from him because he's a knife guy and an engineer and everything. But in general, yeah. Burnt Toast. Nice to have you here, Burnt Toast. Evening, gentlemen and ladies. I'm in a very picky phase after having hundreds of knives come in and out. I find I only carry a few, so I try and stay in the same vein as those. Well, what are they, Burnt Toast? Let me know what those are. I'm curious. Doug Bowles says, Bob, if a blade is good enough for St. Michael, it's good enough for you to share for your daughters. Yep, no doubt. Yep. I say the St. Michael prayer every morning. I love that prayer. It's so cool. But, St. Michael's a badass. Over Under Pull. Nice to have you here, Over Under Pull. Good evening. Enjoy your talks and sharing info. Thank you. Hey, Over Under Pull. Thank you, man. I appreciate the kind words. I love having you here with us. The Maroney says, the Kvist Vanish hasn't left my pocket since I got it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the Warncliffe with the lozenge-shaped opening hole and a rather large kind of access to the lock. If that's what I think that's a great knife. Or maybe that's the Slippy, but still, I think it's shaped like that. Miranda says, I'm carrying the same thing today. Swiss Army knife cyber tool, as always. Well, you got to stick with what works. What kind of guitar is that? Oh, sorry. I think it was a Telecaster. Well, it looks like a red Telecaster. An American Father says, carrying a Lion Steel B40, a Rat 1, and a Cold Steel Mini Tack. That's nice, Carrie. Is that B40? Is that the new Lion Steel, the new takedown? That looks pretty neat, the takedown Lion Steel hunting knife. David Helka, nice to have you here, David. How is Civivi's crossbar lock? It's awesome. No stick on this. I have a couple of other Civivi crossbar locks. Which ones? I'm trying to think of, I know I have one other. But this one is smooth as silk. It doesn't stick at all. And I'm finding, Mr. Helka, that Civivi does a lot of different locks very well. I have a frame lock from them. It is a steel frame lock. So you're not going to have the stick issues with that. But still, I have a bunch of liner locks, of course. I have this. I have some button locks that are great, and they've all lived up the spine whack test. And then the Snex. Which one is the Snex? What the hell is that called? Snex, the Indonesian knife or Malaysian knife designer, did the collaboration. The Vision XR, the XR lock. They do that awesome. Is it XR? The Vision. You know which knife I'm talking about. So they do a lot of different things very well, and their crossbar lock is no exception. Ed says today's carry is the Spyderco Sage 5 with compression lock. I love the compression lock. It's funny that they gave themselves a spot on the Sage roster. Sage being like a person of great wisdom, and that's their Sage series. Each one of the Sage knives honors one of the sages of knife making, like Michael Walker for the liner lock, and Chris Reeve for the frame lock, and Butch what's his name for the ball lock, and Sal Glesser for the compression lock. Pretty cool. Craig Vincent says, Bob, my knife pickups this month so far are Glock 81 field knife. So I've had that in my queue on Amazon for a little while. I would love to have the one without the serrations, but I can't seem to find that. So should I get it? Let me know, Craig. The Amite Gladiator, the Remet Canyon, the Cold Steel Finhawk, the Range Boss, the Ranch Hand, the Leatherneck Tonto. Oh, that's cool. And three Ozarks Grails. I'm unfamiliar with the last ones, and also the Amite Gladiator, or Amite. I don't even know how the hell you pronounce that. Amite. In German, you pronounce the second vowel if you have two vowels next to each other, but that doesn't look like a German word with the GHT. It looks English. So Amite, something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm curious about that. I don't know which one that is. Bobby Rains, nice to have you here, sir. Howdy, everyone, he says. If you don't know Bobby, you probably do, but if you don't, he's a maker of incredible Bowie knives. We have just locked down a date to do an interview. He's going to be coming on the show. Really look forward to it. In my recent interview with Rolando Escotada, he showed off a knife that Bobby made for him, a beautiful Bowie, just incredible. So definitely worth checking that out. Ron Crow, nice to have you here, Ron. Howdy, Bob, and fellow junkies. Well, Ron, it's a pleasure having you, man. Five Door still here, listening and lurking. Well, thank you, Five Door. Since you're here, let me thank you again for this. I love this. It's a great little neck knife, and yeah, I'm one of the few guys out there who loves and carries neck knives. Have a Knife Day says, I'm cleaning up my brass RMJ tactical snuckles. For educational purposes only. Oh, the striking texture on those knuckles are so wicked. Here, I'll show you my favorite set of knuckles. These are from Delicious Fist. Spooky Pockets. This is real brass. And it fits my medium-sized hands well. I find that a lot of knuckles I'll pick up, like these Station 9, they're pretty good. These are just on the outside. Like they spread my fingers out just a little. These are perfect. War Room EDC, what up? Good to have you here, War Room. Coming at you with that truck. Todd Carr says, Leatherman Surge and accessories, the Gerber Shard, the SOG Power Pint, the Swiss Army Knife Field Master, Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter. That's a nice one. The Pickled Steel. Wait, am I reading that right? Yeah. Pickled Steel Warthog, Northern Knife Works Hemlock in S125V, and the Olight i3T Arcfield UV and Rovi Von A3. You got some deep cuts there with the Pickled Steel Warthog, not sure what that is, and the Northern Knife Works Hemlock. Very nice. See, Five Door. Bob, I sent you a trainer, not an actual knife. What did UPS do? This is not a trainer. It's a very, very sharp trainer. I wouldn't want to stab anyone with, or I wouldn't want to train with this knife, but it's really cool. I love it. Nick Martino, I have a couple of skeleton fix blades. They're all okay, but I kind of wish they all had scales. Well, Nick, make them. Make scales. They're actually, they're not too hard to make, actually. I'm looking around as if I made them here, but I don't. Back when I made a couple of knives, that was actually one of my favorite parts. Josh 304, good to have you here, Josh. Yeah, I want red, white, and blue handle scales as well. Yeah, it makes you feel good. Edgy American Blades, I was joking about the clip. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, man, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Lady Picture Show 72, V3 and Warthog. Well, good to have you here, Lady Picture. V3 and Warthog. Of what? Of what? Let me know what that is. V3. The version 3 and Warthog. Jason Lotz. Nice to have you here, Jason. I use the tactical belt with my SE knives. I can easily tighten the belt with the Velcro. Yeah. I want one of those belts. Just one of those big. I think we all have knives we regret getting rid of, either by trade or sale. Yes, true enough. But Nick, like I said, I feel like it's still in the family. With it being with you, Josh 304. Bob, a pleasure as always. Well, thank you, Josh. It's good. Does that mean you're going? If so, have a wonderful weekend. Otherwise, pleasure's mine, sir. Jammin Parker. Bob, I have an extra Gideon V3 I could send you if you would like to. If you would like, I wouldn't mind checking that out, Jammin. I would, I would check it out. We will come to terms over how long I get to keep it, because sometimes I say, oh, I'll have it back to you in 2 weeks, and then it's more like 4 weeks. But I would be interested in checking it out for sure. Thank you, man. That's very generous. Doug Bull says, Bob, remember the rule of thumb: don't cut it. Yeah, yes, exactly. Well, that rule is permanently done for me. All right, let me show you this. This is the last new thing to show. I showed you so I got a package from Off Grid Knives. Seth Lang, nice to have you here, Seth. Greetings, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Fashionably late as always. Hey, man, believe me, I feel you. Today's carry: Cliff Bishop Moonscar, Savage X Creature Antimony, and Monterey-based Slayback XLS. The Slayback is beautiful. Sanmai with ZDP 189 core. I'm afraid I don't know what who Cliff Bishop is, or the Moonscar. That's a cool name. And the Savage X Creature Antimony. What are those? They're like mysterious new knives I have to get to know. Very nice. All right, let me show you this real quick. This is a beauty. I'm really psyched to have this. I have one like this and a blackout. This is Off Grid Knives' new EDC fixed blade knife, and it is called the Sidekick. He sent me a card. Kerry always sends a card. He says, hey, Bob, I'd EDC the shit out of that. And it's a quote, apparently, that I said, your quote during our podcast when I first showed the Sidekick prototype. I'm also adding the new bolt pens, which I showed off as well. Enjoy. And it's true. I love this thing. This is it's so comfortable. And unlike most off-grid knives, it is somewhat small. It really fits the hand so well. So it comes in this coyote and a blackout version. I want to show it next to the knife that it comes from. This is the Backcountry. That's right, the Backcountry. And I got to say, I am a sucker for the recurve blade and that high peak there towards the tip. It's beautiful, and to me, it's very tactical. Even though it's called the Backcountry, I always used to say it should be called the Back Alley because it looks like a fighting knife to me. And I would say kind of the same with this. Really has a great feel in hand, and also just an awesome blade. It's wickedly sharp. You've got jimping back here, really locks in nicely. And then jimping where I like it best on the back for that Filipino grip with the thumb on the spine. And then you also have some back here. Feels great in reverse grip if you need to use it that way. And what steel is this? This is 14C28N, and they do that great. I'm not sure who made this. I know that Kerry uses an OEM in Taiwan, and he uses Best Tech for his knives. I think Best Tech does most of the premium folders and a good number of the regular folders. So I'm guessing this is a Taiwan production. I have not scoured the box to find that out, but I'm really impressed by this. I know he worked a while on getting this just right, and I'd say he succeeded. It really is a great 3.5 inch, I think. Yeah, it's a 3.5 inch EDC fixed blade, and it's awesome. And now here's the sheath. The sheath has a rotatable clip, a la Tops Knives. Rotates on there, so you can carry it scout, and you can just screw it down there and tighten it. You carry it scout or angle it or however you want to carry it. I have a feeling I will be taking this off and using a soft loop. I think this will be a nice one to soft loop across the front belt. I'm really impressed by this knife, and what's cool about off-grid knives is that with each new version, like for instance, this is the version 3 of the backcountry. With each new version of the knife, he makes improvements. Gary makes design improvements. Like this handle, for instance, is much less blocky. It's contoured and comfortable. Whereas the first one, which I also have, is, and then I think I have an intermediate version, is, each time it's gotten better and better. Well, here he started off with really good. Oh, and by the way, jigging on that G10 handle, just like a traditional knife. So really cool, stylish, feels great in hand, good looking, and sharp as hell. 14C28N is a great blade steel. And yeah, there you have it. I think it's really cool. Blackout version also came. I did not open that up because I think we'll be giving that one away at some point. But there you have it, from Off-Grid Knives, the Sidekick. What do you think, guys? What do you think? I know we have some off-grid fans out there, like Byron. I know he likes off-grid, the Necker, the all-day Necker. That thing. Sweet knife. Also really good in reverse grip. That's you opening up a barrel. 55-gallon drum full of Uzis at the border between France and Switzerland. I think that's where it was. The Maroni says the Vanish is a tiny slippy below average size. Okay. All right. But it still has that profile, I'm guessing. That Kvist beautiful profile. Matthew, good to have you here, Matthew. Wanted to say hello, Bob and Jim and all fellow junkies. Matthew, thank you, man. Thanks for saying hello. And it's great to have you with us. Nick Martino says they should do more models in the Super Lock Civivi. The Super Lock. Okay. Well, that's a next design. I think it would have to have him involved in the design. I think. I could be wrong, but it's so rare. Just kidding. An American Father says Lion Steel B40 is a bushcraft knife in Schleipner steel. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. Burnt Toast says, the few I carry, I really like lockback for modern folders at 3.5 to 4 inches. Yes, that's my wheelhouse as well. An EDC fixed blade between 3.5 and 4.5 inches, and a slip joint, Endura 4, Guardian 3.5, and Boker Trapper in Tortoise. Ooh, that sounds nice. Boker makes some pretty sweet slip joints and some really nice modern folders as well. Nick Martino, I encourage anyone to go watch the actual history of Spyderco. It's actually quite interesting and pretty diverse. They started, man and wife driving around sharpening knives from their van at, swap meets and trade shows and all sorts of stuff. I think that's a really cool origin story. And by the way, they have outstanding sharpening systems, and like the Triangle Sharp Maker is great, but also I have a couple of stones of theirs, and they're great. Paul Mills says, I carried the Sage 5, the mini Amsler neck knife, and my bug out always in my sweatshirt pocket. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I have certain knives that are always, like my winter jacket has a sleeve pocket, and for years it's had the Kershaw Hawk in it. And the jacket before that also had a pocket, and that knife rode in that pocket on the old one. So Pete Davidson, good to have you here, man. Good day, Bob, Jim, and the rest of the mob. How's it going? My collection phase is at a plateau. I really only jump at the ones that got away. Yeah, I've been in that phase. I tend to focus more on customization these days. Yes, making it yours. I totally understand that. Mad Hatter says a mite is the premium class of Miguron knives. All right. I didn't know about that. Miguron knives are already pretty damn sweet. I think this one is made by Miguron. This is the DC Blades Vendetta. I'm pretty sure it's made by Miguron. It certainly looks like it is with the micro milling and the basic build of it. Nick Martino says Amsler makes pretty cool, small, thin knives that are surprisingly affordable. I like that. Jerry C says, well, good to have you here, Jerry C. I have a little K-bar necker. Love it. Is it this one? It's so good. Jesse Juros. Takar says, the Ozark Grails are the cheap $5 or $10 knives from Walmart in D2 steel. Oh, okay. Like Ozark Trail, but Grails. D2 steel and a crossbow. Okay. The one that everyone's comparing to the bug out. I've been kind of looking for that, and I have not found it at my local Walmarts. People scooping them up like crazy, but heat treat is very hit and miss. Interesting, man. Yeah, I want to try one of those out. I've seen so many videos now, or I should say, video thumbnails with people. Is this the Benchmade killer, or it's like $200 versus $10? Which is better? Adrian Fighter 35 says, I thought I'd mention that I got my first double-edged blade last week. Cool. Oh, love this knife. Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh. The OSS by Cold Steel. Now that is the it's so badass, very light, maneuverable. So we have an OSS on top of the fridge in this house, but that's a version of this knife. So it's got that same double-edged, long, thin fighting blade, kind of a clip point, also with the sub hilt. Yeah, but it's Grivery, I guess, Grivery handles. But so cool. I love the OSS. It is light. It's beautiful. It's the quillions on that are really cool too. Congratulations. Also got a Talwar yesterday. It has a rattle. Oh, you know what that is? I'll tell you what that is. I have a couple of Cold Steels with the rattle. It only rattles when it's closed, right? Because the tension is off the stop pin. It's the stop pin. If you take it apart, this is my solution to that rattle. I also had that rattle in my in one of my hinderers. Take it apart, remove the stop pin, and you can either glue it in there with epoxy or something. But what I do is take a tiny little piece of rubber band. Like I'll just cut a tiny little piece of rubber band, drop it in the hole so that there's tension and between the lock. When there's no blade tension on it and the blade is closed, it doesn't rattle because the rubber band is pushing the stop pin against the other side. That's probably there are probably better ways to do it, but that's what that issue is. I would bet that's what that issue is, right? Because it doesn't rattle when it's open. Pete Davidson says, last week I customized some Victorinox paring knives, Ed Calderon style. You're talking my language. I'm trying to find my old Cold Steel kitchen knife with worn out handles to give it the same treatment. That's cool. I never had a Cold Steel kitchen knife, but the one Victorinox fruit knife, Ed Calderon style custom job I have left is in my car. And I have a piece of Velcro on that side and then a piece of Velcro on the side of the console. So if I'm feeling paranoid while I drive, I'll stick it there so I can just grab it. If someone were to reach in and strangle me, I don't know why that would happen, but I would just grab it and just insert it in the arm, and then they would feel compelled to pull their arm out, and that would be awful for them. Knife Nut 69. Good to have you here, Knife Nut. I'm at the stage of collecting where I need to actually save up for a minute to be able to get them. 500 plus has become common. Ooh. Well, then, I say, oof, but what's the difference? 500 plus on one great knife or 500 plus on a bunch of knives. That's a totally legitimate and admirable way to collect in my mind. Craig Vincent says, I think amite is okay. Thank you. Thank you. Is pronounced amate. Why? Amate. Okay. The Ozark Grail is the Walmart bug out clone everyone was going gaga over last year. I had to know what the hubbub was all about. Yeah. Is it hubbubable? Mikey Daily. Mikey Daily Carey. Good to have you here, Mikey. Happy Friday Eve, folks. Friday Eve, indeed. But when the shit hits the fan, which knife you grab them behind you first to exhibit in your F around and find out mode? All right. Well, I'll pick two, one for my right hand, one for my left hand. For my left hand, it's going to be this. And for my right hand, it's going to be this. So the barong in my right hand and this in my left hand, the 1918, and then I'll put the 1917 tucked in my belt, and then I'll make sure I have either my Ganunting or my Taliban with me too, just in case. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones up there. Josh 304 says, little secret, Rovivon makes spectacular lights. I own 4. They are all faves, but my standout is the Rovivon. My standout Rovivon is the S3. Okay, so Rovivon gets mentioned here in Pocket Check quite a bit. I'm going to have to check them out. I occasionally get interested in lights, and it's hard to maintain, but I am interested in getting more. I want stuff that strobes. I like bright strobing lights, but I don't want anything too big. So that's kind of a little bit of a conundrum. Clark Henry, nice to have you here, Clark. It's better to sell or give a knife away than to lose it in the Absolutely. I am with you 100%, or on subway tracks. Pete Davidson says, today's carry was a Custom Police K390. Very nice. Carbon fiber Swiss Army knife compact, Ed Calderon style paring knife with Kydex sheath, plus all my other bits and bobs. Lovely. I love the police model. I love that. I love the K390. I think I've just heard so much great stuff about it. I don't have that steel on any of my knives, but that sounds awesome. Craig, I like the bits and bobs too. Craig Vincent says, Bob, I will send any of my Cold Steel's tea keeping for you to check out. What is tea keeping? I'll figure that out in a sec. I will send you any of my Cold Steels to check out. Just let me know which ones. If you have one, I'll send it. I even have a few extras I could send your way for keepsies. Oh, Craig. Don't really, but I'm wondering what don't I have? I don't mean it like that, but and this is sort of related. Jesse, good to have you here, Jesse. Evening, all. Jesse says, evening to you. The Scout. Which one is that? The Recon Scout, the shorter version of the Trailmaster. I've always been interested in that. I've never ever gotten it. I also like the whatever. We'll talk. All of the leathernecks, especially the big leatherneck Bowie. I'd like to check that out. Seth Lang, nice to have you here, Seth. We'll have to talk, Bob. These are incredible makers, and their knives would be right up your alley. Roger Pearson is the guy behind Savage X Creature, and Cliff Bishop, apprentice under Mike Snowdy. Oh, cool. Let me see. I'm going to write this down. Roger Pearson. Okay, Savage X Creature. Savage X Creature. And Cliff Bishop. Cliff Bishop sounds like a musician's name. Right. Burnt Toast says, great. Wasn't planning on buying a knife at midnight on Thursday, but at $59, that Sidekick is sweet looking. Yeah, midnight is the perfect time to do it, right? Because you could just say, oh, it was midnight. I didn't know it was happening. Oh, yeah, this is a great little knife. I mean, I haven't used it yet, but all It's nice and thin too. All indications are it'll be sweet. I love all the other off-grid knives I have. Dylan, how's it going? We have Dylan Mallory with us. Howdy. Hope you're well. I am indeed. Thank you. Phasing back into the custom aspect of collecting again. Oh, man. That sounds expensive. But again, like I said, if you're getting one knife every once in a while as opposed to a bunch of knives with more frequency and you're spending the same amount of money, in the long run, you probably would rather have a special piece. Nick Martino says, I have an original Scorpion. I love it. We actually made it. Scorpion. Which one? Oh, yes. Off-grid. Pete David. Yes, I have the We Made one too I think they're up to the V3. And Best Tech is making them. And Best Tech's awesome too. Pete Davidson says, I have been trying out some Maxpedition tack tie molly clips as in the waistband carry method. So far, so good. I like the way they connect. No pull the dot snap. Yay. They are cheap. I hate pull the dot snaps. They drive me nuts. I never quite get them right. That pair of off-grid knives is super. Yeah, agreed, Reverend Jim. This one's cool too. This one also has a 2-finger partition, similar to the Armis I was talking about. And this one does not feel as good as the Armis, though everything else about this handle is great. And actually, it's a pretty subtle thing. So it doesn't get in the way or anything. So yeah, pretty cool. Oh yeah. We have an affiliate link, TheKnifeJunkie.com/offgrid. If you want an off-grid knife, why not order it that way? TheKnifeJunkie.com/offgrid. All right, guys. I feel myself winding down. Have a Knife Day says, we met the wife owner of Spyderco when we went to Golden, Colorado store. She hit it off with my wife and ended up giving us the Twin Towers steel cutouts for their 911 knife. Whoa, that is cool. Man, that's an awesome walkaway. Takeaway. Chase Kimball, nice to see you here, Chase. Hey, Bob, been moving away from folders and getting more fixed blades. Here. Have a Dave Made Peasant on the way as we speak. Oh, I don't know that. Dave Made Peasant. Yeah, fixed blades. I love fixed blades. The rubber band is actually a great idea. Fixed blade knives, I love, and that's where my obsession started. And that doesn't mean I don't love folders too. I positively do, but ultimately, it's about the fixed blades for me. Doug Bull says, Bob, when I purchased the Sidewinder, I had, that's a knife he gave me. I had also bought the SOG Bowie Craton handle. Oh, nice. I thought I lost it, but found it with my old police department gear. Still just like new. Made my day for sure. God, that's a cool one. I love the SOG Bowie, period. And that Craton handle one, I think they call it the Tech Bowie. Very sweet. Craig Vincent says, when it comes to knives, I am a version of the modern human subspecies known as Homo sapiens. Oh my gosh. Homo sapien. On that note, the Moroni says, I absolutely love my AM8 Miguron. Flicks, I really want to get the Flicks 2. Oh, okay, the AM8 Flicks. I really want to get the Flicks 2. Well, sir, I would say don't drag your feet. Run out and get it as soon as you can, because these things get discontinued. These things go away, and then they're a lot more expensive when you have to have them. And that sucks. Matisfaction, nice to have you here. Hello, all. My phase of collecting currently is just purchasing knives designed or made by friends. That's a great way to go. Homie Omi, nice to see you here. I don't know what phase I'm in, but I have a problem. Yes, I do too. You and your sharp little guys there. All right, everybody, that does it for me and Jim this fine evening. Thank you all for coming and joining us. I also want to thank Ben Belkin and all the other Gentleman Junkies. Ben, this is yours, and it will be coming your way tomorrow. I will get these in the mail. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to join us on Sunday for the Knives by Nuge interview with Tom Nugent. And he's a great dude, and it's great talking about his knives and he showed off a lot of cool stuff. So do join us then. All right, for Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying until next time, don't take dull for an answer.